I'm Hannah Patterson, owner of HK Hair. I'm just going to show you how to do a really quick updo for long hair. This is suitable for really any hairs. If you can get your hair in a ponytail, you can do a variation of this. So what I'm going to first of all do is, this is my lockdown client Sophie. What I'm first of all going to do is just give her a little bit of a root lift on the top of her hair so her hair doesn't look quite so flat. So I'm going to use a backcombing brush. These are available from, you can get much from Primark actually, but different hairdressing wholesalers online. So it's like it's a little brush but with a pointy bit on the end. You can then section the hair, and then when you're backcombing, don't sort of do this frantically, just really use the brush like this and then push down the hair. I'll do just a couple bits like that. I would usually also, if you're day 2 of doing your hair, of washing your hair, you can use a little bit of dry shampoo at this point as well, and it just creates a little bit more volume, and it'll also hold the general styling. So I'm just smoothing the top layer of the hair. I'm not brushing out what I've already put on. I'm just using a little bit of hairspray. I like to use Mystify Me Light. It's a product I also retail. If you want to have a look on hkhair.co.uk, you'll be able to see all my recommended products. Currently doing contactless delivery within Milton Keynes. So what I'm going to pop Sophie's hair up into a high-ish ponytail. Let me just... And then I've got a hair bobble that doesn't have any sort of metal on it. You can get some hair bobbles that have a little metal clasp. So I'm going to use one just like that to secure her hair. Swap hands. And the idea is with all hairdressing, be it colouring or hair up, is to make sure your foundations are correct. So with hair colouring, make sure the hair condition is as you'd want it, or your undercoat of colour is correct, and exactly the same with hair up is the principle. So this needs to be secure here. If this is wobbly here, everything that you build on top of that is not going to be good at all. So I would just double check in the mirror if it was me as well on my own. I'd use this end, and I'm just literally going to pull this up just a little bit more, just so she's got a little bit more volume. I don't want it to look a little bit more interesting. I don't want it to look too formal. And then you can then just pull some other bits out. I'm just going to look at her as I would look at myself in the mirror. Lovely, there you go. So she's got a little bit more shape going on. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a messy bun. So I'm going to use one of these. These are Invisibobbles, but again, places like Primark, Boots will do their own variations of these. These are great because they will spring back. And they are, although I'd not encourage people to tie their hair up when it's wet because your hair's in a more vulnerable state. If you're, these are really good for if you're going swimming and things like that. So it's a really good tool to have. So I'm going to use the hair bobble as if I'm doing a ponytail, but I'm not going to pull the hair all the way through. So I'm going to do that. So I've looped the hair round. I'm then going to twist the bobble and then put it back on. Pull the hair up again, loop it halfway through and pull it round. So sometimes you might do this on the top of your head or really nice, really pretty to one side. So that's what you'd end up with. So from a hairdresser point of view, that isn't balanced, and it will always look better visually if the actual hair is balanced. So I'm just I've got an end here, so I'm just going to tuck that back into the hair bobble first of all. And then I'm literally just going to wiggle it around and see how I think that looks best. Let's just see. And then I'm going to use some long pins. You can get these in different sizes or grips if you've got them. But ideally some pins, so they won't sort of force the hair. We can get some thin ones as well. My lovely client Sophie has got a lot of hair, and so I'm gonna use these long pins. And then where there's gaps between the actual hair style and the loop and the scalp, that's how, and then the root area, I'll just use my finger just to put that a bit closer. And that will then just make the whole look more on this. This bit's a little bit droopy here. And then with the pins, all the grips, what I'm doing is I'm I'm pushing them in towards the scalp and then hooking them in the root so they're laying flat on the head. Let's just have a little look. Let's pull this down here a little bit. How are we doing? And I'll do one last little bit of spray. And this hairspray is brilliant because it will brush out. It doesn't leave any residue or anything. So actually, Sophie might then take her hair out later on or tomorrow, and it'll have a nice little wave to it as well. And I'm just going to give you a little twirl. And that's a quick updo from HK Hair.